Hello, everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of our 4 Days of Love Wax Seal Workshop. I'm so excited to spend some more time making some Valentine seals with you today. And we are also using our day 3 printable to make a cute little Valentine. So we're going to make the Valentine. We're going to make some glitter seals today. It's going to be really fun. So let me know how your day is going and let me know where you're watching from today. I can see we've got a bunch of people here already. I can see Catherine is here. We've got Tirsa from Minnesota. Jackie's here from St. Paul with the sun. Today's like the sun is just barely starting to come out here, but it's like really nice that it's not so cloudy. Angela from Washington's here. Kimmy, welcome. Rhonda's here. Virginia, welcome. Cindy, welcome. Carol and Melanie. I can see Wendy's here. Nikita, Diana, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to spend time with you. So the day 3 printable, I had sent it out via email and I'm going to just copy it and put it in the chat here so you can download that. It's posting and just posted. So that is the printable we're using today. And this is actually the type of envelope this is actually called a money envelope. It's hard to see where it's at, but it's like the perfect size for bills. But I think it's still a really cute envelope shape that it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And so we've got a cute little matching card that will go with it as well. So we're going to fold this up. I've just cut mine out already, but I do want to do one version where we're using like just scrapbooking paper so you can kind of see how that could work as well. So you're going to want to have that printable. The other supplies I have with me today is I have this parchment paper underneath. That's the surface I'm working on because today I'm using hot glue. So I always go with parchment paper or a silicone mat when using hot glue. So I've got that warming up in a low temp glue gun and it's getting nice and warm. And then I also have some fun things. So I've got some glass glitter. If you're in the Wax Seal Club, you got this glass glitter with your last box. But I also have these other glitters on my website and I just made some with this one. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's like a rose. It's got a pinkish hue. It's not silver, but it's kind of pinkish. So I've got those. I've got some double-sided tape here. And I also have some, let me grab some of this out, some fine glitter. So I think, oh gosh, I already spilled it. Don't tip it to the side. So I've got some fine glitter. So we're going to do fine glitter and some glass glitter. I'm just going to dust all this glitter off before it gets everywhere. Let's see what else I have. The other things, scissors, pencil. I do have a bone folder and I have my cutting board to help me make scores. So with all of those things, I think that's most everything. The last thing I'll mention is I've got all my stamps here on an ice pack. So they're just hanging out over there, getting nice and cold. So those are the supplies that I'm using today. The other thing I wanted to mention really quick before we get started is the deal of the day. So there's 3 stamps that are the deal of the day. So there are 3 of my most favorite Valentine stamps, but they're fabulous for any time of year. But this one says Happy Mail enclosed. So that one, all of these were also out of stock. So they're back in stock and they're a deal of the day. So they're on sale. They're all 20% off. So instead of $20, they're $16. This one says with love, which is really gorgeous. And then this one says Happy Mail, but the little heart. So all of these honestly work so well any time of year, but they're fun for Valentine's too, with the hearts and with the love and all of that. So that's what the deal of the day is. I'm going to share that link really quick. And there's still a couple of the striped bow stamps from day 1, but the candy red wax is sold out. So things do move pretty quick when they're the deal of the day. So if you love any of these stamps and want to grab one for a great deal, go get that. Okay, let me make myself smaller. I can see greetings from Missouri and from New Jersey. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller so we can see. So in the printable, these are on just 2 different pages and I just cut them out. That's all I did just to save us some time from you having to watch me cut. But I do want to do one version on scrapbooking paper to show you, and then we'll fold them and everything. So I did go ahead and I made one example already. So I'll show you. So this is the card that can go on the inside. Then this is the envelope once it's finished. And I did with this one, because I don't have, there's a little line here on the printable that you know where to cut. But since I didn't have that when tracing it on on the scrapbooking paper, I just cut that little lip off. So you can also just do that. But anyway, so there's the envelope. And then I did make some fun sills. So let me show you. So then that's the seal that matches the card on the inside. So we'll make some like this. I've never actually done this. I usually just do hot glue like clear, but it's kind of fun to do it over paper. So we'll try that today too. So we're going to do this, but I'm going to just do a different color, different paper. So we have another example. So you'll have to vote on this. So these are the 3 papers I grabbed. I feel like the bow and the plaid could look really cute together, but I also kind of really love this one just because it's like Valentines. So let me know which one. Should we do, we need 2, hearts and plaid or bow, which 3? Let's see. I saw a question. Not sure, is this Wednesday's live? Yes, it is. So this is the day 2 of the 4 Days of Love workshop. So let's see, bow and plaid, bow and plaid. Okay, we've got bows and plaid. So let's go that. I feel like it does match really nicely. It's very like soft and kind of subtle. So I've already kind of cut into this bow. So I'm going to check, and I'm going to bring you guys a little taller here. So we've got a little more room, but I don't have enough space on this paper to do the envelope. So the bow has to be the card on the inside, and then we'll do the plaid as the envelope. So I'm just going to take this. So I just wanted to trace this before I started folding it so it would be easier, and then we'll just fold the printable version. But you can also, if you print out the printable, you can use it as a template as well if you have, you know, your own Valentine paper, or even just regular paper that's not Valentine's themed, because you could use this envelope any time of year. Okay, so we're just going to cut this out, and I know I could use my paper cutter, but with the camera it's a little, I'm going to use it when I use my bone folder, but it's just a little bit large for the working space I have that fits in the camera, so it seems just faster to cut it with scissors. So this can be our little card, very cute. And I'll save my bow paper. So we can make a sill with this if we want, or we could just make it just a clear hot glue sill. So then now I'm just going to trace the back of this envelope. So I'm just using it as a template. The printable, I had it printed on 100-pound paper. It is quite thick, where this is a lot thinner scrapbooking paper, and I kind of like how thin it is for folding purposes. Your bow paper is pretty. Do you remember where you got it? I got the bow paper at Hobby Lobby. So I always just, anytime I go there, or Michael's, or used to be Joann's, I just always pop by the paper section and just quick check if there's anything cute. So I did get it at Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry, but I cannot find the printable from the text I got. Yeah, because it wasn't in the text. So you're not on you. Here, I added it into the chat already, but I'm going to add it one more time so you can grab that. The Love Note seal stamp, did it come back in stock this morning and sell out, or was it glitch? It was a glitch with the notification email. So actually, it's so exciting. Our Valentine collection is actually arriving this afternoon. So it will be in stock. It should be anyway. There's a handful of stamps that are coming later that were delayed, but the majority of the collection is getting restocked tonight and tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout for that. And there is one, the Well, there's actually 3. So the days of the deal for tomorrow and the next day won't be restocked because they're going to be the day of the deal of the day. So, but yeah, Alyssa had told me that a few people had emailed about that, but yeah, we don't have those back in stock. They're arriving today. And we like to make sure everything's there before we add it to the website. All right, sorry. I know it's a little painful to watch me cutting. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one where I'm actually going to cut off that little notch just because I think getting the placement of it might be a little tricky. And you could even do that on the printable too if you're like, I don't want to deal with that part, but I'll show you how to do it if you want to use that little notch. Almost done. But I love little printables like this to make little cards and envelopes because sometimes it's just fun to make your own when you have time. Okay. The jars by you, I didn't find them in the shop. I can add them. So these are brand new to the shop. So I had some in the Wax Seal Club box. And so then I got several colors. So there's gold, silver, champagne, pink, aqua green. There's so many colors, but there's the link to it, Catherine. So it's posting there. Okay. So now that we've got our envelope templates here, the printable version and our scrapbooking paper version. So you can do either or, whatever you want to do. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my glitter box so there's less of a shadow here for you guys. We'll set that down. So I'm going to grab, the only reason I'm using this is because it has a little guide in here, and so I can use that for folding. So for the card, it fits long way, so it's like a long and skinny card. So if we measure, it's 5 1/8. So we'd go 2.5 plus a 16th should get us right in the center. So I'm just going to do a light score. I don't want to press too hard because the paper's thin and I don't want it to rip. I'm going to try to also line it up as well. So depending on what paper you're using, you may want to pay attention to which direction, like where you're placing it on the paper and how you're cutting it out. I think this is fine. It's a pretty big pattern, so that's just going to be the nature of it, that we're not seeing all of the pattern. So then for these ones, you're going to go this corner to this corner is 1 score. I'm going to try to maybe bring you guys out even a little farther so you can see the whole thing. So I just line it up this corner to this corner and then go all the way. And then just rotate it and do the same thing on each of the sides. So each side has a flap. Oh, that's what I was talking about not pressing too hard because then it'll kind of rip the paper. So we got to be a little gentle, especially with paper. The thicker the paper, it's not as big of a deal, but the thin paper, yes. Okay. What a great pattern. That could be used for baby showers, birthday, bridal showers, etc. Yeah, for sure. That's something that's fun too. Like once you have these little templates, then you can just change out the paper and it'll work. You can change the paper to fit what you're using or what you're making it for. So same thing, corner to corner. This one I am pressing a little more because this is 100-pound paper, so it's a lot thicker. It's a really thick cardstock. So I know it can handle that without ripping. So if you're just joining, we're on day 2. I'm getting a little mixed up. I feel like I want to say it's day 3 because it's Wednesday, but we skipped yesterday because we did a caramel making class to make Valentine candy boxes with my friend Maddie for the Script and Seal Society. So that was really, really fun. The last one I'm going to do here is just this card from the printable. And so I'm just going to, double check the measurements the exact same. There we go. So now I've got scores in all of my cards. So I'm done with my paper cutter for now. And fold that over. And then I'll just do a fold on this side. And then now I have my cute little card that I can write in, do a little Valentine note in there. You can put money, like it's the right size for a dollar bill if you wanted to do that. But so now I'm just going to fold in each side and score, or press it down, I mean. So when we'll do it, we'll do the small ones and then this one, and then it will fold. But it's cute because the back has this pattern where the front is the red. And so that's one thing that's fun about the printable, where if it's just scrapbooking paper, it's just going to be one solid color. So I do want to make this little notch here for this to sit in. So you can see it's very faint, but on the printable, there's just this little line for us to cut. And so we're going to do that. So let me grab my, and if you, honestly, it basically gets covered up. If you're like, I don't want to do that, you could cut that flap off too. But that's what I did on this one. I just cut it off. So either way, let's see. Let's see. Candy class was divine. Looked so delicious. It was so good. And you guys, I ate like 4 caramels yesterday. And when if for you, the guys that weren't there, they were big. They're like big caramels. Anyway, I'm not having any today to balance it out, but they were very, very good. If you haven't joined Script and Seal, you should. It's so fun. The printables are amazing. I've been with Betsy just under a year. Can't say enough good things. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Yeah, I know a bunch of you are in the Script and Seal Society, and it really is. It's so much fun. We do 3 workshops a month. So basically like this workshop, but the projects are just for that group. And then I saw you should score on the other side of the paper. For some reason, I thought you were supposed to score on the not colored side. But is it supposed to be, is it the other way? You're supposed to score on this side. I think you're actually right now that I'm looking at it. Well, I think I already scored everything. But okay, I think you're right because this is getting like a little bit of like ripped edge. So, and then Lisa's confirming here, score on the printed side. Thank you guys. Because that makes sense. Because then if you folded this side, then it looks like nice. So next time, when you make yours, score on the printed side. Okay. So let's see. We were cutting this out. So I'm just using my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to go twice. I just want to make sure I get all the way through, maybe even 3 times. This is a very thick paper. And just want to make sure. So I did make it through. So you can see it's got a little notch there. And then if we can do a little test to make sure, but we can just put, I guess we kind of need it like there. So it will work. But first we need to tape it down. So I'm just using double-sided tape. So this is I'm going to add the link to it once this video is posted on YouTube, but there's all different types of brands of this kind of tape, but it's really great. And I don't really want any of this tape showing, so I'm just going to try to get as close to this edge as I can. But I've been using this, especially with the Script and Seal Society workshops with our printables there, and I actually really like this type of tape so far. I have the Barely Art glue, but I wouldn't say I use a lot of glue. I like the tape more. Okay. So lift that side up. And I'm just using this little awl. Another great tip from someone, I can't remember who, in the Script and Seal Society, but just to get that little paper off, because sometimes the tape wants to come up too, and it's a little finicky to do it with your finger. So then I'm just gonna press it down, make sure it's down tight, and now we've got our envelope. Very cute. And so this is the card, so you can see then it just fits right in, which is so fun. And then this part, I mean, it goes in, but you kind of have to get the right, there we go. It was a little finicky. But there you go, a cute little template. So let's make the other one really quick, and then we'll make some stills to go with it. So this one is our plaid. So this is just if you wanted to use your own scrapbooking paper, you could use any color you wanted. And I should have been more thorough with this. This happened last time when I did stripes with an envelope, but anything that has straight lines, it's going to be more obvious when it's not lining up, when the lines of the print don't match up with the lines of the paper. This was where I kind of ripped through my paper, so I'm just going to trim that a little bit so that it's not sticking out like that. And I am going to just fold this down. So it's a little skiwampus. You could probably line it up better than I did. I'm like, do I have enough? Is it bad enough that we should make another one on the hearts, or should we just go with it? It's a little bit driving me bonkers. But anyway, I should have lined it up. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. Okay. Question, I ordered and paid for the deal of the day stamps quickly before the glitter was listed. Any chance my shipping could be combined to add those to my earlier order? We're unfortunately not able to combine, just with how many orders we are getting every day now. It's challenging because some, anything that's been ordered up to this point today, I'm pretty sure they've already packed and have the labels on, and they're leaving in 10 minutes to go drop them at the post office. So it's just, yeah, it's a little tricky with just how many there are. Go with it. It's fine. Okay, thank you guys. Well, this one I'm like, I can give this to one of my kids. I've been making lots of Valentines, but I haven't written in any for them yet. So this could be one of theirs. The one I was making earlier, I did make that one, Sergio. I did write in that one. Okay. So we'll just get this taped down. But I feel like this comes together pretty quickly. And I love the rounded flaps on envelopes. I think they're so cute. And so it's just kind of a different type of. And I did get this a little bit over the edge, so I'm going to try to fold that over so that I don't have a sticky spot when I'm trying to put my card in. So there we have our cute little envelope with the cute little card that goes inside. So very fun, and it fits just right. So let's make some stills that can go with these. So there are kind of two types of stills I was thinking of for today. So the first one I was thinking of that we can do for this can be similar to these, where we can use a paper base. and a blank stamp and do the glass glitter, which is kind of fun. And this was the first time I've done it with paper and glass glitter. And then the other ones we can just do fine glitter stills, and I think we can use the red because I have a really nice red fine glitter for that. So for this one, this pink's a little bit like brighter than this one. This one's very like pale, so I kind of think we should go with the really bright one because I think that one will be really fun. So what I want to do is I'm going to use an oval, a blank oval, and I need to dry it off because it's been on the ice pack. So I'm just going to dry it. You can add a fussy cut or a seal and put it on a slant so it looks intentional. There you go. That's always the thing to do, is if you mess up, just make it look like you meant to do it that way. So now it's nice and dry. But the reason I did that, I was like, why did I do that? Because I don't have my hot glue ready. Is because I need to cut my paper. So I did this, I made 3 earlier, and let me show you really quick. So here's the 2. So the first one I made, I just had like a square of paper, and then I poured the hot glue and then put this on. But then I had to cut the paper around the glass glitter, and that was kind of challenging because the glass glitter gets in the way and then it stops your scissors, right? So the next one, after I made 2 of those, I was like, I'm just going to cut the shape the size of the stamp and then put the glue on. And that worked a lot better. I don't have to cut anything. It's a little bit cleaner as well. This side, I don't think you can see it, but you might be able to see a little bit of paper peeking through. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to cut that oval out so that we don't have to worry about that. And I'm kind of, maybe we'll cut 2 because I want to see, because I'm like, if it goes this way, that's kind of a weird bow, but it's also kind of a funny shape. Maybe we should do a round one. I don't know if that doesn't really help. This is just a long bow. So I am going to try to turn it over and see if I can place it centered and then set it down. So I'm just going to trace the stamp around. So I'm going to do one that way, and then the next one I'm going to try long ways just to see if it looks good, or, you know, I don't know which way will be best. And I'm going to pop that back on the ice pack till we're ready to use it. I see someone said, Julie said, you should mix the 2 pinks. That's kind of a fun idea. Maybe let's do one like that. I hadn't thought of that, but they would look cute together. Okay, so let's cut these out and then we'll kind of decide which one will look best. Well, tomorrow's my kid's Valentine's parties at school, so I'm going to go to my youngest son. He's in 1st grade, so I get to volunteer at the party, which I'm excited about because I haven't got to volunteer at any of his parties yet this year. So that's how that one turned out, which actually it looks pretty. But we've got their Valentines all done, but we still need to make a Valentine box for my older son. And he wants a soccer box, so he's got to paint his box green and draw soccer lines on it, and then we cut holes and we're going to put little soccer goals on it. So that's what I'll be doing. Actually, why don't we, did someone say this? Horizontal seal is fine. Elizabeth, are you thinking, I think you were thinking this, but I'm like, why don't we just put it like this? And it kind of actually matches the shape of the envelope a little bit. So either one is going to be cute. So we've got those cut out now. For this one, we're just going to use hot glue and the glitter, so I don't need a paper for that one to cut out. But for this one, we'll do the bows. So my next tip for anything with glitter is to have a piece of parchment paper. So I cut out these squares ahead of time, and then that's where you do all the glitter on this, because then you can pick it up and dump it back in. So that helps a lot, so that you're not having glitter everywhere. So let's do one. I'm trying to think how we would mix it. I'm wondering if I would just kind of sprinkle, because I don't really want to mix the jars, but we'll start with the dark pink. We'll do that one first. So we'll do it on this one. So I was going to dump it on the paper, but you don't need to. So you're just going to dump it out. And let me bring you guys a little closer and see better. And then you'll just make a blank spot for the seal. We're going to put our paper in. So we just want to have enough room that the seal can fit. You might even go a little bit more. So then we just need to dry this off. Get that nice and dried. Is the glass glitter colors in our subscription box light pink and hot pink that are in the shop, are they different? Yeah, so this is the color that was in the box, and crystal, which is like a clearish one, where this is the hot pink. So yeah, it's definitely different colors. So yeah, the hot pink would be different, and it is a little smaller. Is there any chance of getting navy blue glass glitter? I'll look. That would be really pretty. I used to be room mother for both my kids. It was so fun. Did all the parties and field trips. Yeah. I think I answered that question. I do go for my youngest son, like I do the reading. I go read with some of the kids once a month. So I do that, and I actually did the bulletin for the first grade, like how they have bulletin boards. So that was really cute. Well, I should post a picture. I didn't do that. So then I'm just going to scoop this on. And I did volunteer for my older son's third grade Halloween party. So it's kind of fun. And at this age, they still are very excited if I go to school to do something. So I try to do it as much as I can. I was about to take it off, but we need to let it set. So let's let that one set. The one thing with the glass glitters is they are all a little bit different sizes. This is a little bit smaller, which I like. And that's something maybe in the future they can become all the same size, but it was kind of, the size was based on the color. So for this one, let's try this. I've never tried two colors of this. So I'm like thinking maybe we just pick some and kind of drop it on. And then push it down. This hot glue is quite warm, so I think it will work okay, but we'll have to work quick. Dry off my stamp, press. Now I'm like, I'm not going to have enough. Honestly, I might just put it all back into the hot pink, because it kind of, I can't tell if you can tell or if it's just blending in, but we'll see once we like take it up. Would the stamp get cold enough if we place it upside down on the ice pack? I don't know. Should we try it? Let me grab a stamp. So the question is, if we put this like this way, let me try to get like down to the cold part. So if I set that on, and we'll come back and see if it kind of travels through the metal, and maybe it would. And yeah, no condensation. So I think it could be good. Let's try it and see. Okay, so this one, I just got to rearrange. I'm going to pull this one back. The other thing that's nice about this too is you can kind of move them around. So we'll pull this one off. And then I like to like rub my finger around to get any loose ones off. I'm going gently. Something that happened the other day when I was making hot glue seals, my stamp wasn't quite cold enough, and I can tell this stamp wasn't quite cold enough. It was the one I traced with. And if you pull fast, it's gonna rip it off. It'll leave little lines in the hot glue. So I'm trying to go gently and kind of work my way around instead of just doing a quick pull off to hopefully avoid those little lines. I got a little bit misshaped, but it's still really cute. I really like the glass glitter. Let's take a look with this. Well, actually, let's get the other one. So this is this one. The shape is not the best, but that's okay. So this is one. Let me set it aside. And when we're done, the best part is we can just lift this up and dump it back into the glitter jar. And then we can just save that little parchment paper and we can use it again for a different one. Okay, let's check this one. See a question. Are you pressing only from top and not the sides? Yeah, I'm trying to press more down because when you do, you can kind of see it on these. Can you see how these ones, there's like, it goes up, like the glitter's going up. If you press too much like in when you're doing it, then the hot glue moves up and then it gets hard to get off the stamp. So yeah, I try to press more like down than sideways. This one looks like I got a better shape on it. Cute. So let's compare the two. I feel like you can tell a difference that this one has some variety in color. Like you can tell there's some lighter ones in there. I'll usually go in and anything like this one is like really sticking out. I would try to just pull that out. Watch, I won't be able to get it out now that I said that. But yeah, the ones that are just really kind of like way out there, sometimes I'll try to pull out or knock off. But I think that one turned out better, at least shape-wise, but I think it is pretty and kind of softened the hot pink too. But it's so close, I think I'm just going to put it back into my hot pink jar because I don't want to waste this glitter. So I think it's close enough. I'll probably just, and most of it was this hot pink. The other thing that I've been wanting to try that I haven't, and we won't have time today, but I've been thinking about it with the glass glitter is like using it like mosaic tile. So for a stamp, I don't have my heart one, but so imagine the heart part and then you fill over the top of the heart, you put these like as close as you can together to make them look like little tiles. But I think that would be a fun way to use glass glitter too. Okay, let's compare. Could you put the wax seal on the ice pack to loosen the stamp? Probably wouldn't work for ones with paper. I think you could, but with the ice packs, there's like condensation on it. So I would say more like just pop it in, put the whole thing in the freezer. So if it's sticking, so like this, if it's stuck like this, then yeah, I would just take this whole thing and just put it in the freezer for a few minutes versus setting it on the ice pack because the ice pack will have condensation. Thanks for coming, April. I think I got, okay. Any questions for getting your stamp lined up with the paper? Mine are always a little bit off. The thing that I like to do is when you're pressing it down, if you're using hot glue, you have a split second where you can see through the hot glue to like reposition. So you always just, you press and you can kind of reposition it slightly to get it right over the paper. Okay. You can tell I like the mix. Yeah, I like the mix too. Whose idea was that? Good idea. Okay, so this one has the cute little bow card. So we put that in there. And then this one. And the other thing with hot glue is it's so sticky that the little pieces that come off of the glass glitter will just stick to it. So you kind of have to get those off with tweezers sometimes. But that one did turn out better, but that's how it looks. But I do think it kind of softened the hot pink a little bit, which matches the paper really well. Here's this one. I wish I would have got a better shape on it. It's a little bit wonky, but I do like that it's horizontal. But anyway, so that's kind of the difference in color. I feel like adding the light did kind of soften it, which will make it really cute with this little card. So there's that one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now I was like, what are we doing now? Okay, so we're gonna do this one. So we're going red. So I was gonna grab, this is my fine glitter. I'll bring you guys out a little bit. Let's see. Very messy. So this one, that's why the lid wasn't on all the way. This one says it's dark pink, but it looks red. I think I have red violet. I thought I had like a true, there's the true red. So let's take a look and see. I'm thinking the ruby actually. Yeah, I think the ruby will look good. This one. This one has a little more pink and this one's just like a little lighter, but that ruby will look really pretty. So that's the one we'll use because it will match. So with fine glitter, we don't press this into the hot glue because it will just stick. And we can choose, this one is cute because it has all those little hearts. But one thing that to consider is when we're doing hot glue, then I could paint over it with the gold paint pen. But one thing that makes tricky is that the engravings go all the way to the edge of the stamp. And so it's hard to get your pen in there on the edge without getting it into the glitter where it's not supposed to be. So I like that stamp, but I don't know if I want that one. I kind of like the idea of using this one that just says love. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure this one's, this one I think is coming. I don't think it's in stock right now, but I think it's coming, not for today, unfortunately, but the next one. I was just excited some of the Valentine stamps are arriving because it just felt like they'd be like, it's coming 2 days and 2 days and 2 days. And then it's like, it's been 2 weeks. Where is it? But it's finally here. So for this one, we're going to pour onto the parchment paper because we're using hot glue. And I should take the lid off. Okay. And then I'm going to press it. And then I'm going to go around with the glitter. And we can probably just do one more on this same paper. Let's see, what other Valentine one do I have? I grabbed a lot of blanks. Let's check on our strawberry. So this is the one I'd press it on this side. It is cold on this side too. That's a great idea. So I'll try that next time for all of them, but it is cold enough I could put it in into the hot glue. Okay, so I'm just drying this one off. Also, my glass glitter comes off quite a bit. What am I doing wrong possibly? So if you're doing it in sealing wax, it's definitely going to come off really, really quickly. But hot glue is going to be better. So a couple things. You're going to want your hot glue, I would err on the side of more hot because it takes time to push it on and you want to be really fast when you're pushing it on. And then the other thing that you want to do is you really need to press it down in. And they're not all, like if I'm going to touch this, I'm like, I can probably get one of these off. Look, I just got one. So it's not like this isn't one that's going to be amazing in the mail. Although I will say, Catherine sent me one. I still need to post the photo of it. And it still had quite a bit of the glass glitter in there and it went through the mail. So, but I would say work quicker and maybe a little bit hotter of hot glue and that might help a little bit. So let's do this one. I'm going to try to clean that little space so there's no glitter underneath. And I'm going to need another glue stick here. Okay, so we're going to press and then dump all the way around. So the reason if we try to press this, it'll just leave our finger marks in it. So that's why we don't really want to press this down. We just got to let it cool and we'll take it off. Can we order if not in stock? If not, do we still get the deal of the day? Yeah, you can't order if it's not in stock. I don't have any like automatic pre-orders available just because the time frame, it's too long of a time frame, I feel like, for me to order them and to them arrive. So, but yeah. So I hope that answers your question. But you can still get the deal of the day anytime. I like using that trick with the top gel nail polish. That seems to secure it well. That's a great point. I actually haven't tried it with glitter. But yeah, I feel like we've talked about this before, different ways to get the glitter to kind of set. I know other people have mentioned like sprays that you use to like set like oil pastels or something like that, like with sprays for like setting paintings and things. I love seeing the back. Okay, so then we'll pull this off and try to get an even pull. If it like snaps, then it gets glitter where you don't really want it. But there's that one, how cute. And then we're gonna paint it still, but I think that's gonna be really cute on there. I'm like, where do I set this one? Set it over there. And these, you just need to wash them off. Like I just rinse them in water and then dry them and then they're fine. But it's such fine glitter, it's hard to get off any other way. And you don't want to get glitter on this side because it will stick to it. Like if I dipped it, it will just stick. So I'm trying not to pull, I'm trying to pull evenly so I don't like snap. How cute. Okay, so we'll set that aside and we need to set these aside. I'll have to get those, go clean those. And then I'm gonna dump all my glitter back in. Hopefully I don't spill it. Are you guys have any fun Valentine's plans? We have soccer Saturday, but we only have one soccer. Well, Clayton has 2 games. He's gonna play in 2. One of the teams in his club doesn't have enough kids for one of their games, so he's gonna guest play with them for a little bit, and then he'll play with his team. And then Tanner's team doesn't have a game. But then I do have a babysitter. My mother-in-law is gonna watch the kids. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll go do something. Okay. Let's get this. Did you already say what the deal was? I did, and so I can show you again. I'm trying to see where I set them. I need to go put these back into the bins. The With Love stamp, Happy Mail, and Happy Mail enclosed. So those are the 3 for the deal of the day. So they're all 20% off. So I'll share it one more time, the link in here. But if you don't have any of those stamps, it's a good time to get them. And they really are great ones for any time of year. I don't want a ton of flow because I'm just coloring the raised part of these. If I was coloring the edge, I would want a lot of flow. Bring you guys a little closer. And so I can just go over, this is a Krylon gold leafing pen. This is my go-to gold pen. I really like it. Big tip, but once you've used it a little bit, you kind of just get used to it. That one turned out pretty good. I feel like sometimes the E or the L get wonky with the press. So this one says love you. So check back tonight/tomorrow morning, more of the Valentine stamps will be restocked, and that will be, like, the last one for immediately. Some of the stamps that aren't, like, super Valentine-y will stay in the shop for a while. Um, Look how cute. And I'm getting glitter on the bottom. I love that one. So fun. Okay. So then the last thing would just be attaching it. So I'm like, I didn't grab my 3M stickers, but that's how I'm not going to attach it yet because I want to take a photo of this, all the pieces. But you can put a 3M sticker, or I've even used this double-sided tape before, or a glue dot. And then you can just, put that underneath, and then there's your seal on top. And so that's how you would attach it, and that's it. You'd be done. But I think these turned out really fun. The printable is really cute. I think it's fun. It has a little touch of pink here, but then you've got the pink hearts on the inside, so it does feel very Valentine-y. And it's fun to do the little notch there. Or you can do like this one where we did just scrapbooking paper, and do any kind of paper you want. And that turns out really cute. And then you can match your paper to make a glitter seal as well, which is really, really fun. So that's what I had for today. Tomorrow, I didn't grab the rest of the printable. Tomorrow is going to be, let me make myself the regular size. Tomorrow's going to be day 3. So it's a Valentine shaker card. So we're going to be making like really mini seals to put in there, and they'll also shake along with like some glitter and stuff like that. So that one's going to be really fun. And then our last day is like a mini card and envelope, and we'll do some two-toned seals. So just some different techniques with the different printables, but hopefully if you don't have your Valentines yet, you can use one of the printables and get them all done. And then Irma's asking for today's printable. Let me add the link one more time. So this is for day 2, and I'll email it out again so you have it. And once this video is posted, I'll add it in the description as well so you can get it there. And then just make sure those deals of the day, I added the link already, but I'm going to send an email about that as well. And so you make sure to grab those stamps if you'd like. The last thing I was going to mention is if you want to get text reminders for the live, so we're going to do Thursday, so tomorrow and Friday, and then otherwise I normally just go live on Thursdays once a week is what I try to do anyway. So if you want to get a text reminder, just text the word live to this phone number, and then I just send out a text usually 15 minutes before and say, hey, I'm going to go live, and then if you're available, you can join. Okay. That's all I had for today. So let me know if you try this one. I think it's so cute and so fun, and I'll plan on seeing you guys tomorrow. Our workshop is going to be at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we're doing the Valentine shaker card. So I'll see you guys then.